Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm Kira Atkinson.
I'm Rachel Serwin.
And we are the senior producers of Macbeth. We produced this alongside sophomores Kira Nielsen and Eugenie Borodon.
Since fall of last year, our cast has put in countless hours of work into creating this show. We filmed over the course of several weeks while following COVID safety guidelines. If you'd like to learn more about our production process, you can visit southcastdrama.com.
This stream is free to watch thanks to the generous support of our community sponsors and individual donations. If you'd like to make a donation or see the list of community sponsors, please visit southcastdrama.com.
The show will run for about 90 minutes. Disclaimer, the show does contain mature themes as well as some depictions of violence. Also witches and ghosts and lots of sword fighting.
Thank you and enjoy.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with
Macbeth.
I come, grey Malkin.
Had a cause, anon.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and fill the air.
What bloody woman is that?
This is the sergeant, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke on their art. The merciless Victorine, worthy to be a rebel for too that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon it. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, she deserves that name, like Valor's minion carved her passage, till she unseamed him from the nave to the chops. Fixed his head upon her battlements.
And cousin, worthy gentlewoman.
King of Scotland, Mark no sooner justice had with valor on compelled these skipping currents to trust their heels. But the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or hare to the line, if I say sooth, I must report they were, as cannons overcharged with double cracks. So they doubly redoubled upon their foe. Whether they meant to bathe in reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. I'm faint. My gashes cry for help.
So while thy words become thee as thy wounds, they smack of honor both. Go, get her surgeons. Who comes here? The worthy Thane of Ross.
What haste looks through her eyes? So should she look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Five Great King, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Till that, alone as bridegroom, laughed and proved, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, and to conclude, the victory fell on us!
Great happiness!
Oh, great happiness!
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Ross, Lennox, go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
We'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where's that been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. A roint to bewitch the rump-fed Ronian cries, her husband to Aleppo gone, master o' the tiger. But in the sea by thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
There it comes.
And I another.
And I myself of all the other, and to the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know, in the shipman's yard.
I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day fall upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid, weary 7 nights, 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, he shall remain tempest tossed.
Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come. A drum, a drum, Macbeth doth come.
The wayward sisters, hand in hand,
Posers of the sea and land.
thus do go about,
Thrice to God, thrice to mine.
thrice again, to make up 9.
Peace. The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called to Forest? What are those, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it? Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lip. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope that she seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence. Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them.
Into the air. What seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
The children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, when did not so?
The self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king have happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. Nothing feared of what thyself didst make, stray images of death. As thick as hail came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in her kingdom's great defense, and lay them down before her.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master. Thanks.
And for an earnest of an even greater honor, she bade me from her call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you under the throne besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of imperial theme. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me the earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to the suggestion whose horrid image does unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon her, like our strange garments cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at a more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our hearts free to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough. Come, friends.
His execution done on Cawdor.
My liege, I have spoke with one who saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it.
There is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust.
Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe, in doing it pays itself.
Welcome hither. Noble Banquo that is no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Malcolm. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Whose honor must not unaccompanied invest her only, and signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness and bind us further to you.
Rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my spouse with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor. True worthy Banquo, she is full so valiant. Let's after her, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not lights my black and deep desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
They met me in the day of success, and they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned a desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with hail king that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner in greatness. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here, tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with her?
Please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. When my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath had scarcely more than would make up his message.
She brings good news. Raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here. Fill me from crown to toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up all access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substance you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall me in the duddest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by all hail hereafter. Your words have transported me beyond the ignorant present, and I see now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as she purposes.
Never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my dame, is a book where men may read strange matters. Beguile the time, ere welcoming your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Its coming must be provided for.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his loved mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No juddy, farees, nor coin of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed. The air is delicate.
See, our honored host. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we think is love.
All our service in every point, twice done and then done double, we're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed her at the heels, but she rides well, and her great love, sharp as her spur, hath holp her to her home before us.
Help him to his home before us.
Fair and noble host, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever.
Conduct me to mine host. We love her highly and shall continue our graces towards her. By your leave.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done. The assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with her surcease success. Why, but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this banked shoal of time, we jump the life to come. In these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. She's here in double trust. First, as I am her kinsman and her subject, strong both against the deed. Then as her host, who should against her murderer I shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne her faculties so meek, hath been so clear in her great office, that her virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of her taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast. Or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow this horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown in the wind. I have no spur to prick the side of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls onto the other. How now, what news?
She's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath she asked for me?
No, you're not. She
We will
has.
proceed no further in this business. She hath honored me as of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you've dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afraid to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st, the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man, who dares do more is none.
What beast was that made you break this enterprise to me? When durst do it, then you were a man, and to be more than you were, you would be so much more the man. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, having so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail?
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, her 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood the sleepy 2 of her own chambers and used their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon her death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, girl?
Moon is down. I've not yet heard the clock.
She goes down at
I
12.
take it. 'Tis later, sir.
Hold, take my sword. Hold, take thee that too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. There!
A friend.
The king's abed, she hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great larges to your offices. This diamond she greets your spouse withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content. I dreamt last night of the 3 sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat upon an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, and keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counsel.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. Like to you.
Go bid thy master, and when my drink is ready, he strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain. I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalst me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one half-world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams do abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder alarmed by his sentinel the wolf. Thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from this time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, she lives. Words to the heat of deed too cold breath gives. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Peace. Who's the owl that shrieked the fatal bell that gives the sternest good night? She is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets.
Who's there? What? How?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked me, 'tis not done. The attempt, not the deed, confounds us so. Hark! Leave your daggers ready, she could not miss them. If she had not resembled my mother, she slept, I had done it. My wife.
I have done the deed. Dost thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl screaming, the crickets cried. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
I descended? Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
'Tis a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry
There's
sight.
one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep. One cried, God bless us, and amen, the other. They'd seen me with these hangman's hands listening their fears. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deep.
Wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth just murder, sleep the innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleep of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Globes hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why have you brought the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleeping grooms with blood.
Look on, I am afraid to think what I've done. Look on again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do sleep, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
What's this that knocking? How is with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are these? They pluck out mine eyes. What? Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hands? No, this my hands will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I do shame to wear a heart so white. You're knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. Hark! We're knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call us, and show us to you watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, I must not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
There's a knocking indeed. Man, reporter of Hellgate should have rolled turning the key.
Knock, knock, knock! Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? There's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of money. Oh, come in time. Have napkins now about you. Here you'll sweat for it.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock! Who's there in the other devil's name?
Oh, here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, that committed treason enough for God's sakes, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock! Who's there? Oh, here's an English tailor, come hither. For stealing out of a French hose? Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Never had quiet.
What are you?
This place is too cold for hell. The reporter it no further. I plot one of the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire.
Knock, knock, knock.
Remember the porter?
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing to the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Nay, sir. Nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. It persuades him and disheartens him, makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him asleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. Very throwed on me, but I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, though, he took up my legs sometime. I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awaked her. Ah, here she comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
She did command me to call timely on her. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll take you to her. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hints today? She does. She did appoint some. Night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, strange lamentings heard in the air of screams of death and prophesying, with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake. 'Twas a rough night. My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Whore! Whore! Oh, whore! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made her masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What did you say? The life?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. See, and then speak for yourselves. Do not bid me speak. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo, Donalbain, and Malcolm! Shake off this downy sleep that is counterfeit and look to death itself! Malcolm and Banquo,
The
rise!
hideous trumpet calls to parlay the sleepers of this house. Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle sir, 'tis not for you to hear what I may speak. The repetition in the woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo,
Banquo, royal master's murdered.
Whoa, alas, what, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time.
What is amiss? You are and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped.
Your royal mother's murdered.
Oh. By whom?
Those were chamber had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood, as were their daggers which unwiped we found upon their pillows.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who could be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man! The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, her silver skin laced with her golden blood, and her gashed stabs look like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make love known?
Help me hence. How?
Look to the gentleman.
Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for hours?
What should be spoken here? Where our fate hidden in augur hole may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet run.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the gentleman. Let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. In the great hand of God I stand. I fight of treasonous malice.
So do I.
So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet at the hall together.
Aye.
Well contented.
What will you do?
Huh?
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. Show an unfelt sorrows in office which the false man does easy. All to England.
To Ireland I, our separated fortunes to keep us both the safer. Where we are, there are daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood, and the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse and not let us be dainty of leave taking, but shift away.
.10 I can remember well, but in the volume of which I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifle former knowings.
Oh, good mother. Thus use the heavens as troubled with man's act and in his bloody stage. By clock 'tis day, and yet dark night shrinkles the traveling lamp.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that is done. On Tuesday last, Falcon, towering high in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed. Within the volume of which times I've seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifle former knowing.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain. Beauteous and swift, the minions of their race flung out, broke their stalls, contending against obedience as if they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
And 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
She is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. Out to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Adieu. Lest our old robe sit easier than our new.
Farewell, good mother.
God's Benson go with you, and with those that make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now, King, Cawdor, Glamis, all. As the weird women promised, and I fear thou played most foully for it. It was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie. Forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which hath been both grave and prosperous. Is far your ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt now and supper.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, it will not.
We hear Malcolm and Donalbain are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel patricide and filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, hie you to Pasadena to your return at night. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
Then I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men, our pleasure.
They are, madame, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. There's none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me. They hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If to be so, for them the gracious Duncan I have murdered, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Who's there? Now go to the door, stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self.
You made it known to us.
Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye. In the catalogue ye go.
I am one, my liege, whom by blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
Sure, my lord.
Aye, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life, and though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourself, for it must be done tonight. His son, Fleance, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than his father's, must embrace the fate of this dark hour.
Resolve yourselves apart, I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved.
My lord.
I call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from the court?
Aye, my lord.
Say to the king I would attend her leisure a few words.
My lord, I will.
Nought's had, all spent where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those things which should indeed have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it.
Come on. Gentle, my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue.
Must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear love! Thou knowest that Banquo and his flayance lives.
But in them nature's copy's not a turn.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, so thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up with tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Thou marvelst at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
Who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
She needs not our mistrust, since she delivers our offices and what we have to do.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks today. Now spurs the elytic traveler pace to gain timely end, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark, I hear horses.
Then 'tis he. There was everything the note of expectation already there in the court.
His horses go about?
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gate make it their walk.
A light, a light.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
Will be rain tonight.
Then let it come down!
Oh, treachery! Fly, good flayance! Fly! Fly! Thou mayst revenge! Oh, slave.
Who did strike out the light?
This is not the way.
There's but one down. The daughters fled.
We have lost best half of our affair.
Well, let's away. See how much is done.
At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our host keeps his state, but in best time we will require his welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. To all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are even. Here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large and mirth. Anon, we'll drink a measure of the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better he without than he within.
Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat was cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. Thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. Now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bounded to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a dig sheep bide with 20 trenched gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies.
My royal lord! You do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrancer! Now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
Both.
May it please your highness. Sit.
Here had we now our country's honor, roofed were the graced person of our Banquo present, who I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please us, your highness, to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a seat reserved, sir.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it! Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise, her highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and hath been from her youth. I pray you, keep seat. It is momentary. Upon a thought she will again be well. If much you note her, you will offend her and extend her passion. Feed and regard her not. Are you a man?
I, and a bold one that dare look upon that which might appall the devil!
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. All these flaws and starts, imposters to true fear, would well become a woman's story and a witch's fire authorized by her grandmam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces when all's done you look but on a stool?
Prithee, see there! Behold, look, lo, how say you? Why, what care I? If thou canst not speak too, the charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back. Our monument shall be the maws of kites.
What, quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. The times had been that when the braves were out, a man would die and there it end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crown and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not mutine me, my most worthy things. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, I'll sit down. Bring me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the table, and to our dear friend Banquo whom we miss. To all in him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Aye.
Ah!
Ah! Ah! Avaunt, quit from my sight! Hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time!
Why so? Being gone, I am woman again. Pray you sit still!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be? You make me strange when now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks while mine is blanched with fear.
Ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I
pray you speak not. She grows worse and worse. Question enrages her. Think not upon the order of your going, but go at once. A kind good night to all.
Good night, and better health attend Her Majesty.
It will have blood. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Great bidding.
Did you send for him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant fed. I will tomorrow, at betimes I will, to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by worse means the worse. I am in blood, steeped in so far, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in head, that will to hand, which must be acted or they may be scanned.
You'd like the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
You look angrily.
Have I not reason, bell-damned as you are, saucy and overbold? How could you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth and riddles and affairs of death, and I, the master of your charms, the close contriver of all arms, was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our art? And which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward one, spiteful and wrathful, who as others do, was for her own ends, not for you, or shut the glory of our art. And which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward one, spiteful and wrathful, who as others do, was for her own ends, not for you. But make amends now, get you gone, and at the pay of Akron, meet me in the morning. Thither she will come to know her destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charm and everything beside. I am for you. This night, I'll spend into a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought in me. On the corner of a moon, there is a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it! There it comes around. And that, distilled by magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites, as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him under her confusion. She shall spurn fate, scorn death, bear her hopes full of wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know security is moral's chiefest enemy. Mark, may the spirit say, sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, let's make haste. He'll soon be back again.
Things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitted of Macbeth, Mary she was dead, and the right and valiant Banquo walked too late. For whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed. For Fleance fled, men must not walk too late. Not the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious mother. Damned fact. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Can you tell me, sir, where he bestows himself?
The daughter of Duncan Malcolm has fled to the English court and is received most sympathetically. Thither Macduff is gone, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward. By the likes of these we make and give sleep to our knights, meat to our tables, all which we pine for now. This report has so exasperated Macbeth that she prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did so, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I," the cloudy messenger turns his back and hums at who should say, "You'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer."
May swift blessing may soon return upon our suffering country. Under a hand accursed.
boiled first in the charm pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning in cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fed snake in the cauldron, boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like the hell rough boiling bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning in cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Of the ravine, salty shark, roots of hemlock digged in the dark, silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger birth, strangled babe, dish delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good.
Go ahead.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is to do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. Answer me to what I ask of you.
Speak, demand, we'll answer.
Sayest thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our master?
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh, grease that sweeten, and the murderer's gibbet throw into the flames.
Up high or low,
Thyself in office deftly show.
Macbeth!
Macbeth?
Macbeth! Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Whatever thou art, for thy good word of caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fears aright. But one word more!
She will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody bold and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fears it lies and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
We lie metal with crown and take no care. Who chafes, who frets, or conspires on. Macbeth shall never be vanquished. To great burning wood, to hide its hill, shall come against.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet bodements good. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if thou art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied! Deny me this and an eternal curse shall fall upon you. Let me know! Why sinks that cauldron? And what noise is this?
Show!
Show! Show!
Show his eyes.
Grieve his heart. Come like grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down thy crown to sear mine eyeballs. And thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? The fourth, start eyes. What? Will this line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh. I'll see no more, and yet an eighth appears, which bears a glass which shows me many more. Horrible sight, now I see 'tis true.
What, is this so?
Aye, this is so, but why does Macbeth look thus amazedly? Come, sisters, let us cheer up her sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antics around, so this great king may kindly say his duties did our welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stay nigh accursed in the calendar. Come in without there! Come in! Come in without there! Come in without there!
What is your grace's will?
Saw you the Wayward sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was that came by?
2 or 3, my lord. To give you word, Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Aye, thou anticipatest. Thy flighty purposes now overtook, unless the deed go with it. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all the unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before my purpose cool. What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
Well, not whether it was his wisdom or his...
Wisdom. Wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions, and his titles in a place from whence himself to fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. All is the fear, and nothing is the love, as little as the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cuz, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is wise, noble, Judius, and best knows the fits o' the season. I dare not speak much, but cruel are the times when we are traitors, yet not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet not know what we fear, but float along a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, I'll be here again. Things at worst will cease, or else climb upwards to what they were before. My pretty cuz, blessings upon you.
Fathered she is, and yet she is fatherless.
I'm so much a fool. Should I stay longer? It would be my disgrace in your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
It's what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, thus never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead.
Yes, he is dead. How will thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
And you'll buy him to sell him again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet a faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
And what is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Must they all be hung who swear and lie?
Everyone.
We must hang them.
Why, the honest men.
And the swearers and liars are fools, for there are swearers and liars enow, to hang the honest men and beat them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey, but how will thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you'd not, it'd be a good sign I would quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame, I am not to you known. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly, but if you will take a homely woman's advice, be not bound here. Hence with your little ones to frighten with us. Methinks I'm too savage to do worse to your fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now, I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Come. What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou may find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liar, thou stagger, villain! What you egg!
Yes, kill me, mother! Run away, I bring you!
Macduff, let us seek out some desolate shade and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword and like good men bestride our downfallen birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face that it resounds as if it yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe I'll wail, what know, believe, and what I can redress, I will. Which you have spoken, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved her well. She hath not touched you yet.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell.
I've lost my hopes.
Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave taking.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkest for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp and the riches to boot.
Macduff, be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, and yet my poor conscience shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer and more sundry ways than ever by her that shall succeed.
What should she be?
It is myself, I mean, whom I know all the particulars of vice, that when they shall be opened, Black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem her as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than evils to top Macbeth.
I grant her bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Better Macbeth than such an one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of a happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold the time you may so hoodwink.
With this, there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless greed that, were I king, I should forge quarrels unjust. No, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
The avarice sticks deeper, yet do not fear. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, patience, courage, devotion, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live! O nation miserable with an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptered! When shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since that the true issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction, stands accursed, and does blasphemer breed? Thy royal mother was the most sainted king. The king that bore oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland.
Oh, Macduff! 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 Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath, from my soul, wiped the scruples and reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth hath sought to win me into her power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction, here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself as strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to man, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this, upon myself. What I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Now we'll together, and our chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See who comes here.
My countrywoman, but yet I know her not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
Sir, amen.
Good God, but times remove the means that make us strangers.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy.
The dead men's knell there is scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sing.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The Tyners not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not stingy with your speech, how goest?
Now is the time of help.
Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight.
Make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be at their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Seward and 10,000 men. An older and better soldier none than Christendom gives out.
A better soldier none than Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be held out in the desert air, where hearing could not latch them.
What concern they?
And that's honest, though in it shares some woe. Though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess upon them the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife, babes, savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven. The grief that does not speak whispers the upfront heart and bids it break.
All of my children.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from that. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of this great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
She has no children. What? All of my pretty chickens? Did you see it all? Oh, Helga. All? What? All of my pretty chickens and their dame had one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff! They were all struck for thee! Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt, not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I can play the woman with mine eyes and bag her with my tongue, but gentle heavens cut short all intermission front to front. Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within sword's length, set her. If she escapes, heaven forgive her too.
This time goes manly. Come, going to the king, our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but perceive no truth in your reports. When was it he last walked?
Since Her Majesty went to the field, I have seen him rise from his bed, throw his nightgown upon him, unlock his closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet while all this in a most fast sleep.
And in this slumbery agitation, what at any point have you heard him say?
That's which I will not report after.
You made to me, and this must mean you should.
Neither do you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here he comes. This is his very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe him, stand close.
How came he by that light?
Why, it stood by him. His light by him continually, 'tis his command.
You see, his eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it he does now? Look how he rubs his hands.
There's an accustomed action with him. To see him thus washing his hands. I have known him to continue in this quarter of an hour.
Yet, here's the spot.
Hark, he speaks. I would say downward comes from me to satisfy my remembrances the more strongly.
Out, damn spot, out, I say. 1, 2. Why then, tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and afeard. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old woman to have had so much blood in her?
Do you mark that?
Dana.
Her fate of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Oh, will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
He has spoke what he should not, I am sure of it. Heaven knows what he has known.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
Oh, what a sight is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practices.
Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Bickel's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so?
To bed, to bed. I hear a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Will he go now to bed? Fall whispering o'er abroad. Unnatural deeds breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds that deaf pills will discharge its secrets. More she needs the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after him. Remove from him the mean of all annoyance. And keep eyes upon him. So good night. My mind is mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the great Macduff. Revenge is burning them.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. Who knows if Donalbain be with her sister?
For
certain,
sir,
sir, she is not.
the gentry. There is a young Lennox and many unrefused who even now protest their first of womanhood.
What does Macbeth?
Great Dunsinane, she strongly fortifies. Some say she's mad, others who lesserate her do call it valiant fury, but for certain, she cannot buck.
Now does she feel her secret murder sticking to her hands. Only now do minutely revolts upbraid her faith breach. Those she command move only in command, nothing in love. Now does she feel her title hang loose around her like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish leaf.
Who then shall blame her pestered senses to recoil and start when all that is within her does condemn itself for being there?
March we on to give obedience which is truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel to put us into our country's purge. Each drop of us
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weed. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Good. One more line.
Bring me no more reports! Let them fly all! To Burnham would come to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the girl Malcolm? Was she not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man of woman born shall ever have power over thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The devil damn thee, black, thou cream-faced loon! Where goest thou, that goose look?
There are 10,000!
Geese, villain!
Soldiers, sir!
Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks are counselors to fear. What soldiers way-face?
The English force so please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan! When I behold Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. Satan! Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me mine armor.
Is this not needed yet?
I'll put it on. Send out more horses, skirt the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as he is troubled with sick coming fancies that keep him from his rest.
Cure him of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind disease? Pluck from rooted memory a faded sorrow. Raise out the written troubles of the brain and with some sweet, oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart.
The rein the patient must minister to herself.
Throw physic to the dog, I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch, if thou couldst, doctor, find his disease and purge it to a sound and pristine health. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, cyme, or what purgative drug would scour these English heads? Knowest thou of them?
My good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane, away and clear, prophets again should hardly join me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing. What woods is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our hosts and make discovery ere and report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis her main hope, for there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given her the revolt, and none serve with her but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership!
The time approaches towards which advance the war!
Hang out our banners on outward wall. The cry still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie till famine and ague eat them up. What is that noise?
What is that noise?
It's the cry of women, my lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. The time had been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. I've supped full with horrors. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
He should have else died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow, And tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Gracious, my lord.
Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it not be so. Within this 3 mile you may see it coming. I say, a moving grove!
If thy speech be false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiends that lie like the truth. Fear not till Burnham would come to Dunsinane, and now it would come toward Dunsinane! Arm, and out. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind, come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You were your right, noble daughter, lead our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all of our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death! That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face!
And then you go.
They've tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear and worry.
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
Know though thou callst thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest. Thou liest, aborted tyrant. With my sword I shall prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman, but swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman.
If thou best slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unshattered edge I sheath again indeed. Let me find them fortune, and more I beg not.
Action. Ronnie comes in, run.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do greatly in the war. There is little to do, and the day has almost professed itself yours.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir. The castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine sword? Well, as I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. Get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than turns can give thee up!
Thou losest labor. As easy mayst thou the entrenched air with thy keen sword impress, that fall thy blade on vulnerable crest. For I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm and let the angel thou still hast. Tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's wound untimely ripped. Timely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then you be coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as a rare Montezar, painted on a pole and underwrit. Yep. Here, may you see the tyrant.
Oh! I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I'll try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough!
Would the friends we miss were safe arrived?
Some must go off, yet by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble daughter.
Your daughter, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. She only lived but till she was a woman. Confirmed in the unshrinking station where she fought, but like a woman she died.
And she is dead.
Aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by her worth, for then it hath no end.
Had she her hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
God's soldier be she. Had I as many daughters as I had hairs, I would not wish them a fairer death.
She's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for her.
Hail, King! Full so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearls, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named.
Hey!
What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and her fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off his life. This, and what needful else is called upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail,
King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland!
I come, grey mountain, had a call. Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air.